Once upon a time, in the far-off land of Washington, there lived a great big orange jerk and his nasty army of Willies. That was until Good Princess KAMALA and her army of Rastafarians spread the wheat seed throughout the land and restored peace, order, and good government. Once upon a time, in the far-off land of Washington, there was a jerk.
I'm Jerk. Big orange jerk.
And he lived in a big white house deep in the forest.
And I live in a big white house deep in the forest.
That's okay. You don't have to repeat everything I say.
Oh, okay. I don't have to repeat everything you say. Gotcha.
As you can see, he wasn't very bright.
I'm not very... Yeah? Right.
Yeah. Jerk was unhappy because he didn't like himself. His dad, who was also a jerk, didn't like him very much either, and that made Jerk mean and angry.
I am mean and angry.
And there were many things that Jerk did not like about himself, but one thing that made him the saddest of all, he didn't like his orange skin.
My skin color sucks. I want another one. Why do I have to have this stupid orange skin?
Jerk saw many people with many different skin colors all over the land. There were people with russet-colored skin and honey-colored skin, and even people with pink skin. But of all the skin colors, there was one that Jerk loved the most of all. Caramel-colored skin. That was his favorite. It was the most beautiful thing that he had ever seen.
It's so beautiful.
And he wished that he too could have skin of that color, but he couldn't. Instead, he was left with his orange hue.
This really sucks.
And that made Jerk angry. And as time went on, other angry people joined him. They were mad about a lot of things, but Jerk liked their anger. It made him feel important. Soon he had a large army of grumpy people who would do whatever he wanted. And in his anger, Jerk wanted to get rid of the good old king.
It's time for King Odama and his family to go.
And before too long, his army of goose-stepping, torch-bearing nasties had overthrown good King Odama, who fled north of the border into the kingdom of Weed, where he was greeted warmly by the kindly Rastafarians who lived there.
He got away. Rats.
Jerk was still unhappy.
I'm still unhappy.
And so Jerk sent his nasties out to be mean to all the people who had beautiful caramel-colored skin. They would deny them jobs, take away their right to vote, and beat them up.
That will teach them.
And all that time, Jerk knew that he could never tell anyone that secretly he envied those people and wished that he too had lovely caramel-colored skin, because if he had, the nasties would beat him up too, and he would lose all his power. So Jerk remained silent do all those injustices. And that's the way hate and fear lives and grows. So Jerk remains silent and unhappy.
I am still silent and unhappy.
And his army grew.
My army grows. They do whatever I tell them to do because we are above the law.
And they came to be known as the Willies.
They came to be known as the... Huh? What? The Willies. Why are we known as that?
Think about it, and you will see.
I can't think. Thinking makes my head hurt. Just tell me why they are called that.
Because every person in his army looks like Willie Nelson, the country western outlaw.
Oh, yeah. I never noticed that before, but yeah, you're right.
Of course I'm right. I'm the narrator.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Sorry.
And so this big jerk.
Wait. Where were we when we waged war?
Sounds to me like you just traveled through the land of alliteration.
Oh, okay. Whatever that means. Thanks.
And so, after conquering all of his enemies in the land of Washington, this big jerk declared that anyone with kind thoughts anywhere was an enemy of the people, and he would threaten and bully them. And that included the peaceful Rastafarians who lived north of the border in the kingdom of Weed. Speaking the truth was now verboten.
We can't have anybody being happy. Not around here. I can't be happy. No one can be.
And so the people despaired, awaiting someone to lead them to freedom.
That'll never happen. Not on my watch.
Meanwhile, north of the border, in the kingdom of Weed, Princess KAMALA lived with the Rastafarians in peace and harmony. They spent their time smoking ganja, eating poutine, and harvesting the mighty weed seed. Because of all their hard work, there was enough to keep everyone in the kingdom happy forever. All would be well, as long as the mighty weed seed stayed north of the border.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that case, I want it.
And then one day, something very bad happened.
Very bad. At least to them.
The evil orange ogre arrived in the kingdom of Weed and stole the mighty weed seed.
Now, they won't be so happy. Let's see them smile about that.
And so the big jerk,
I am a big jerk.
the biggest jerk ever,
The biggest jerk ever.
took the mighty weed seed back to his White House deep in the forest.
It's all mine. All mine. And no one can have it but me.
Where he planted the weed seed in the rose garden and then sat down to rest on top of it.
Whew. That was a lot of work. I'm hungry.
So the jerk had one of his minions bring him his usual lunch of 6 cheeseburgers and half a dozen Diet Cokes.
This will keep me going till supper time.
But then before too long, there was a mighty rumbling.
What the heck is happening?
And the then mighty weed seed burst out of the ground, shot up into the sky, growing rapidly and taking the big jerk along with it.
Help me! Help me! I want my mommy! But not my daddy, because he never loved me.
Finally, the massive weed stopped growing, and the jerk sat on top of the largest hemp plant ever grown.
This is not good. Help! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me!
And then the big jerk heard a voice far below.
I can help you, but you have to stay still until I get there. Can you do that?
Huh? You want me to just stay still?
Yes. And it would also be helpful if you didn't say something stupid or nasty or racist in the next few minutes. Can you do that?
I'm not sure, but I could try.
Good. Now stay still until I get there.
And so the good Princess KAMALA bravely climbed all the way up to the top of the giant hemp plant.
Whew. Oh, wow. Oh, it's quite the view from up here. You could see all the way to the kingdom of weed.
Oh, is that where you're from?
It sure is. And this is our hemp plant you stole. Well, I'm taking it back.
Sure, you can have it. This is too scary up here. I don't want to play with this anymore. Thanks for coming to get me.
You're welcome.
Hey, what's your name?
Kamala.
Huh? What? That's a strange name. How did you say that again?
Kamala. Try it.
Kamala? Kamara? La? Kruma?
No. Comma. Like the punctuation mark. Comma.
Like the what?
Like a punctuation mark. You know, a comma, a period, a question mark.
What's that?
Do you not know what a punctuation mark is?
Oh, not really.
Oh, wow. How did you ever get through school?
Oh, it was easy. I cheated. I copied off someone else, paid them off, bullied them to help me. That way, I could spend my time making money.
Then how do you read books?
I don't. I've never read a book in my life. The only books I look at just have pictures, mostly women. Sometimes they have.
All right. Enough about those kinds of.
Okay. Story. You know, I've never heard your name before. It's pretty, and so are you.
Why, thank you.
And you know what the prettiest thing about you is?
No, what?
It's the caramel color of your skin. It's so beautiful. I wish I had skin that color.
Really?
Oh,
You do?
Yeah, that would really make me happy. I've always loved that.
But I thought you didn't like people with this skin color.
Well, sure I do. I just say that because it makes my friends happy to hear it.
Your friends? They don't sound like they're very nice.
No, they're not.
Then why do you hang out with them?
Well, because I'm lonely. I don't have any real friends of my own.
You don't have any friends? Really? That's sad.
I never have.
Well, we can fix that easily enough. Would you like to be my friend?
What? You'd be willing to be my friend?
Sure.
But what about my skin color?
What about it?
What? Orange.
So? It's just skin. Besides, we are all different. That doesn't mean we can't be friends.
You mean it's as simple as that?
It's as simple as that.
Wow. I never thought of that before. Of course. I never saw it before. But, I like this thinking. I'll try to do more of it.
Good for you.
That sounds great. Let's be friends.
Agreed. But first, we're going to make a few changes.
Oh. Okay. Sure. Whatever you like, friend.
And so it came to pass that Kamala and the Jerk became good friends. The army of Willies was disbanded. Good King Odama returned from exile, and everyone cut down and smoked the giant hemp plant. And with the help of the friendly Rastafarians, they planted the mighty weed seed throughout the land and opened 100,000 million pizza franchises all over the far-out land of Washington. And they all lived happily ever after. At least as far as anyone could remember, because they were all giggling and laughing and having a good time smoking weed, eating pizza, and listening to Bob Marley. And no one could remember why they were even fighting in the first place. And that is how One Love became the national anthem. The end. Far out, man.